This is News 8 with Tracy Rowlett, Midge Hill, Troy Duncan with weather, and Dale Hansen on sports.
Rangers didn't lose in Florida today. They didn't win either. Rain canceling their game with the White Sox, I believe. So, Dale, what does go on there in Port Charlotte when there's no baseball?
Well, they still played a little bit of baseball. They had an inter-squad game, and Charlie Huff pitched 7 innings, gave up only 2 runs again. He is pitching quite well. And if you're wondering, Tony, this is familiar to you. You did this story when you were down here, but we are in the Rangers motion analysis room, or the video room, or the computer room. Pick a name. All of them seem to fit. And Rangers pitching coach Tom House is with us to talk about this a little bit. This is all your equipment, as you were saying, so you like all of this. Have the players responded to this?
Yes, they have. In fact, they've been hanging around like green flies trying to get their hands on the material. What we've been doing the last couple, 3 weeks is filming everybody, digitizing everybody, which pure and simply means taking the film and turning it into a language that the software and the computer can understand for our motion analysis.
Well, let's do that first. We've got Scott Anderson up here, and explain this for us, Tom, again, what you see.
What this is a stick figure representation of Scott Anderson throwing a baseball. And from start to finish, based on the absolutes that we've decided are best for our pitchers, balance, direction, weight transfer, and deception, Scott goes through his delivery. It's in the memory of the computer. Now, this was we pick a positive, a strong delivery on a quality pitch. Now, this is in the memory. It's in a little software disk over here. And then 2 months from now, if Scott is experiencing some difficulties getting his sinker down and whatever, we'll film him again, digitize him, compare what he's doing 2 months from now with what a good delivery today was, and that'll give us an objective look rather than a subjective, well, I remember what he did, or his knee wasn't quite here. Here it is, according to the laws of physics.
All the other sports have done this, and baseball, in my argument, has always been the one sport that hasn't made the great strides. I mean, the tennis players of the 50s can't play against the counters, the basketball players, etc. Do you think this will force baseball to move to another level?
Probably
or can
not.
It get it to
well,
it?
What we're finding is that what we're discovering here gives resolution to the good and great instructors, what they've been teaching. But how many great instructors are there? What this will enable an organization to do is have top-to-bottom instruction objectively quantified and teaching to something that is solid and absolute, that means something, instead of guesswork.
Well, let me guess what this is supposed to tell us.
Okay, this graph is just a representation of what you saw with the stick figure. And what Jimmy Photo here represents is an individual that he makes this machine sing, hopefully like I make our pitchers sing and work on a field. We give him the information, and he puts it in graph form, which we present to each pitcher. Here's one for Dave Rucker. On this particular day, we were talking about getting your head out over in front of your landing leg. Jimmy takes the pictures, we digitize it, here it is, we give it to the athlete.
Where do you measure the heart?
That is something that's not quite quantifiable. It's something that will still be subjective 200 years from now. There are overachievers. Scotty Fletcher is an infielder. It's a perfect example of an overachiever.
Okay, it's interesting. It's interesting, and it's new with the Rangers, and it's working. You're satisfied with the pitching stats. Well, at least at this early point in the season, it does appear to be working. We'll be back at 10:30 with more tonight, Tony.
All right, Dale, thank you very much. It is fascinating equipment because it costs some $500,000 to get this equipment. And they said that years ago it would have cost $1 million just to get the air conditioning for that equipment in that room. So the Rangers, the first team in baseball to start using this stuff, and they say that it could really make a difference in a couple of years if the players especially start watching what's on that video monitor and they can apply it to what they're doing out on the field.
Amazing.
Gives new meaning to a curve pitch, I guess, too.
Right. A bell curve, right.
Thanks.
Thanks.